Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Glad to have you all here. Of course, Chattanooga Ed, you're on this side. The back and forth is still throwing me off. Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Let me get my chat up here. Let's say some hellos. I appreciate you all being here. I think we're going to have a fun show as usual. St. Creek Aquatics 2. Hey, how are you? T-Bone, John Larson, Chewy LTD. How's it going, my friend? Petzotic / Multiple Aquariums. Tom Patterson. Good to see you. Tampa Tom Fishing, Sharon Miller, Pugamus, hello. T-Bone, Rockford Fish Keeping, roll on through here. Rico Stan, good to see you, and thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. It always makes me all warm and fuzzy when people give us compliments like that. So we're glad to be here and really glad that you enjoy the show every week. Grumpy Mike, how's it going? Chad Krotz, Dragon Lair, Fantastic Freaks, John Larson, in case I missed you before. Down through here, Leah Jet. Oh, lots of people popping in. Awesome. Sherry Kramer, Mrs. Fevers here, Pepper Creek Aquatics. I think I got your Tampa Tom Fishing, but just in case, hello. And Grumpy Mike's Fish throwing down the super pooper chat. I appreciate that, buddy.
I appreciate Mike.
We've got a lot of awesome people here. All right, Gina French, Pat and Jess Cole. Good to see you. So we're going to go over a little bit of our adventure to Indiana with Sean Peck from Peck Tech. That was an awesome time. I've had a lot going on here. Some things that have kind of held up the channel and making videos, so I want to address those. Just a lot going on in life lately. Petzotic / Multiple Aquarium with the $2 super chat says, "I'm here. We can start the party now." Well, speaking of parties, I should party pop. Thank you, Diego. Petzotics, I appreciate that. And Chad Krotz throwing down $5. Chad, thank you, my friend. Says Thursday night live. Yes, Thursday night we are live. I hope you're having a great night. And thank you, Chad. Very much appreciated. Never expected, but I always do appreciate that. It's always a pleasure to have you here either way. John Larson says, James, we need to see the fish that bite fingers. #fingers for piranhas. Yes, so they are, you wouldn't be able to see them right now. I actually have to turn their light off when I stream. Otherwise, you just get this awful light glare bouncing off of all of this glass. The joys of live streaming and YouTube and trying to video and photograph things that are in glass boxes full of water with lights everywhere is reflection is always fun. But I definitely do need to do an update on the piranha. They're getting really big. Part of what's been going on around here is getting ready to get the 220-gallon in so that I can get them moved into that. And there will definitely be a video on that.
Very cool.
Before we get into the craziness and the shenanigans that have been going on around here, Ed and I, sorry, I've got wires like all over my feet. Ed and I had an awesome time going to Indiana this past weekend with Sean Peck from the Peck Tech channel. If you're not familiar with him, he's an awesome guy. He's got an awesome channel, and he's also a game nerd. So we had a blast. It was a real fun time. Ed was kind enough to drive, so he left his place, went by Sean's, picked him up, and then they came over and got me, and we headed up to Indiana. We spent 2 days up there to go to the parking lot swap hosted by the Circle City Aquarium Club, CCAC. Stopped at, I don't think we hit any fish stores along the way, but we stopped at a game store. That was really fun.
It really was. That was a neat game store.
That was.
Indy has it going. I think it's because they have the biggest biggest gaming convention every year is in Indy, like in the whole United States. And I think maybe that's really helped their people like to play games.
It probably has. I won't digress too much onto the games, but I've not been in a whole lot of game stores, but out of the game stores I've been in, the selection was amazing there. It was the biggest selection I've seen. I mean, it felt like they had maybe 1,000 different games. Walls of board games and card games and all sorts of stuff. So that was really fun. And then from there we didn't do anything fishy the first day, did we? I think we did everything fishy the second day.
No, we went to Haley's.
That's right. There was something in there.
And she has some amazing setups.
That was great. We actually did the Saturday Night Live live stream from there / on the way to there. That was fun. We got into town, got our hotel, and then grabbed a bite to eat, and we're like, oh, we got 5 minutes before the stream's supposed to start. So we kind of did some Q&A on the road to Haley's house and had a really awesome time. I'd never been to Haley's before, so that was great for me. It was really fun to see Sean Peck nerd out on Haley's aquariums and her pond and all that stuff. So that was a blast.
Sean is a master, like, scaper, and Holly is incredibly awesome too. So it was pretty neat to get them together. And I mean, well, I won't say anything more. Hey, Ginger, thank you so much.
So John Cox said, Fisher and Fever, no live stream from the event. So my service was not the greatest, but even more than that, we got there at noon, and I know a couple people had already left, but it wasn't quite the show out that we had the last month that we went. So I felt like it would not be worth the investment of you all's time to live stream it, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, it was fun and I enjoyed it, and we got to hang out with Select Pet and of course Tom Patterson.
Yeah.
But in terms of a show for you all, I didn't really feel that it was going to be worth the investment of your time to live stream it, because there were maybe 8 tables, maybe.
Yeah, I think whoops, the cat just kicked the whole thing. I think we came an hour late, and I think a lot of people gave up right off the bat.
Yeah, I think that we had some people.
We saw 2 trucks leaving as we were showing up, and one guy was packing up.
Yeah, so it was not nearly. I was expecting a lot more live bears, just to be blunt. Didn't have a whole lot in terms of the guppies and things that we saw the first month that we went. But Ed and I did both join. We both became members of the Circle City Aquarium Club, so that I can say I am a member of an aquarium club now. Real quick, Gina French, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker with the cute little fox squishy in the heart. I appreciate that, Gina. You're awesome. And I'm glad to have you here. I appreciate you being here, and really appreciate the $10 super sticker as well. So thank you. But that was the big reason for not doing the live stream. I contemplated it. We actually sat there for about 20 minutes after we had kind of shopped out what we had to shop out while we were waiting for the auction to wrap up, because Ed bid on some stuff. And I said, well, I could live stream it. And I said, well, it would really just kind of be Sean and I sitting in the truck talking about not fish stuff. So apologies we didn't have the live stream, but rest assured, anytime there's something awesome fishy related, we will bring it to you. Mike Stembaugh says our Columbus swap wasn't as busy as usual, made 180 on my rainbows. Yeah. So it may have just been that weekend was a bad weekend for people to get out. I still had a fun time. I still had a blast. I was glad to be able to meet Select Pet, talk to Tom Patterson, of course, hang out with Ed and Sean. You can't hardly go wrong when you're hanging out with, 2 other fish nerds, no matter where you are. So even the car ride is fun at that point.
Yeah, I wish we could have hung out longer with John from Select Pet. I wish we would have invited him to breakfast or something.
Yeah. Lord. I couldn't hardly even do breakfast that morning because of that barbecue I mentioned on the live stream we had just finished right before Haley's.
Right.
That's
why I didn't eat much.
Yeah. But it was a fun day. After the event, we went over to Lucas's house and did some looking around and shopping there. I love to go shopping at Lucas's place, because I'm always like, ooh, I want 3 pairs of those and 2 pairs of those, and give me a pair of those and some plants and all that wonderful stuff. And it's always good just hanging out and talking to Lucas.
It is.
But
he's such a cool guy.
Now, did you get anything while we were at Lucas's this last go around?
I did. I got 2 things. I got platinum reds.
Mm.
They have like a platinum body with a red tail, and then they're a guppy. And I also got horn shrimp.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
What all did you get? I know you said you got some blue body.
I got mostly endlers this time. I got some black bar endlers. I got 2 pairs of those. I got, I think, 3 pairs of the blue endlers that he has on his website. And then I got 4 pairs of another Endler. I don't know exactly which line they are, but he had those on the website, but they were actually on sale at the time. So I got 4 pairs of those. And then I was able to talk him out of 2 pairs of the Arctic blue guppies that they're from Germany. That as far as he was aware, he's the only person that had them in the U.S. So those were a little spendy, but definitely well worth it to be able to have 2 pairs of those. Fish Tank Barn Mike throwing the $1 super pooper chat. I appreciate that, Mike. Appreciate you being here. I know you like to lurk a lot. So thank you for pooping on the stream, and thank you for hanging out with us, buddy.
I think I spent a lot of time just talking to Haley and Sarah. Sarah's LRB's wife.
Yeah, I didn't get. Don't get me wrong. I got to enjoy Haley's fish tanks, but not quite at the same level because I was live streamed during it, so I had to try and focus on doing the live stream. But it was a blast because I got to watch, you and Haley interacting and Sean and Haley interacting. So that was really fun. I'm absolutely in love with Haley's low boy shrimp setup that she's got. That thing is amazing. Like there's a low boy at Aquatic Marine up the road from me, my local fish store, and that really tempted me into getting it after seeing how she had her low boy set up.
And it's only $150.
Yep.
For a 50-gallon, that's a pretty nice deal. I was thinking about it too.
That
I just
is.
don't have space.
Right. Well,
yeah. You'd have to go back out into the living area where I don't want all of the tanks. I mean, I've still got like 6 tanks out there. And I'm thinking about moving all my shrimp out. So we'll talk about that in the next stream.
So John Cox says, quick yes or no, Fisherman Fever, have you or Ed ever raised crawfish? I have not.
I have not. Whoops. Rob has them for $143. Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh, nice.
Rob is my local guy at Aquatic Aesthetics.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Kenny will take care of me if I go up the street here. I have not. Susan for SLC Aquatics is here. I know she has raised the self-cloning crayfish before. I actually got some from her. Yep, Bob with Kaler's Aquatics, who's also here, has as well. So, but I personally have not. I'd be interested in it. The problem I have with crayfish, or it seems like every swap rat where Haley's there, they're selling some sort of crabs, and she's always like, buy those crabs. My problem with those types of things is giving them a tank because I don't want them to eat my fish. And if I'm going to have a tank, I want to have some guppies or some endlers or, something in there.
Yeah, so she's always got some cool crabs.
She does.
Had some little micro crabs, and then she had big crabs this time. I mean, they were all really cool. It's just, I don't want them eating my babies, my fry. So I've thought about getting those tequila, or not tequila, not tequila. Here I go again where I forget my words. Tangerine. Those tangerine crawdads are real cool.
Yeah.
Crayfish.
Or she even typed it out so that I could say it correctly, and I'm probably still going to mess this up. Shaylee, glad to finally get in on the live stream again. It's good to see you as well again. You two are great guys, and I enjoy watching the uploaded live stream videos a lot. Well, thank you. We really do appreciate that, and I'm sorry I probably still butchered that, even with you trying to help me out. Because Beth says, I have gotten assassin snails, trapdoor snails, and 2 sets of 10 mixed Neocaridina shrimp, some blue, some green, some yellow, all beautiful. That sounds very, very neat. I'm actually setting up one of the tanks where I'm redoing the fish rooms, which we'll get to that in a minute. That's part of the madness. And one of them is going to be a mixed tank. It's got blues and blacks and even like some realies. It's just a bluish black really. It's going to be a mixed tank. Not quite a Skittles tank, but it's definitely going to be mixed. And I think those are some of the prettiest tanks when you get those mixes of Neocaridinas in there.
Oh, for sure.
Hello, Candy. Mismatch socks.
Paul asked me if I have done anything with my brine shrimp hatchery yet. And I have not. I really it really aggravates me there's no instructions at all. I mean, we were able to get it together, but there's also no instructions for how much stuff to put in it, you know, how much eggs to baking powder to salt. And so I know Candy said that Corey's going to make a video on it, but it's really bugging me that it's just sitting there. I bought a giant can of brine shrimp eggs, so that's pretty cool. So I will be set there.
Well, that's one of the things I think we skipped right over was what we actually got at the parking lot swap. Do you want to tell everybody what you got? I know you got some auction things as well as some stuff bought from the tables.
Yeah, jeepers! I wish. Oh, Candy just says that there's instructions on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, maybe I'll have to try to find that afterwards. Thank you, Candy.
I'll have to print them and take them to Ed. That way he'll quit fussing. I'll hide them in the box and be like, they were in there the whole time, Ed.
And I'd be like, oh, darn it. These glasses just keep falling down on my head. They're like, I think they're thicker than normal, but they work really good. Boy, I bought a whole mess of stuff while I was there for a small show. I just bought a python from Diego from Petzotics. Mm-hmm. Or actually, what's Diego's other?
Multiple aquariums.
Multiple aquariums. I bought a 100-foot python from him, or 75. Well, they were selling one. Somebody had one for $30, mm-hmm. And so I bought it for parts. So I bought that, and it's brand new. Let's see. I bought the 1 pound of eggs. That was pretty awesome. The brine shrimp eggs for, you know, a full giant can. It's pretty cool. And let's see. I got a bunch of plants in the auction. And this time I did it a little smarter. Last time I bid $30 on the Goodiots that I've got here because all I ended up with was 3 males. So they had a bag of them. They had 3 bags of them. And I bid $30 as soon as I got there on one, so I'd win it. And then nobody even bid on the other 2, so I could have bid $2. But oh well, that's just life. So this time what I did was I bid $2 and $3 on each plant, and I think there were so few people, there were so many things to bid on. Nobody wanted to bid against each other because, like, Tom Patterson had a bunch of cool plants, but I didn't bid against him because he's cool. And speaking of Tom Patterson, I got some more White Cross spindlers from him, mm-hmm. and they're amazing. I love them. I'm thinking about possibly moving them and putting them in this tank because cool. Jesse's fish are in this one right now. I've got the breeding female passed away, and I've got one female in here, but she doesn't want to have any babies, and so and then I've got like 6 males. So I'm going to take them, and I think I'm going to put them with the dragons below me. They virtually look identical, except the dragons below me are bigger. So Jesse's are kind of cuter, but right. These are bigger, and I've got 4 girls to 2 boys. So, or maybe I'll move them to there. I don't know. But I'm thinking about taking the White Crosses, because Tom's a big supporter and he's awesome and just a cool guy. So I'd like to get Tom's fish behind me. So, what else? Did I get any? Oh, I bought
some shrimp.
I bought some shrimp, some generic shrimp. They're kind of like gold shrimp and orange shrimp.
And then I got from the same table Ed got his shrimp from, I got, I guess, about 60 Malaysian trumpet snails. I got several bags of those. I also got some more of Tom Patterson's White Cross Endlers. I love those guys. And then when they came back, they had dropped a bunch of fry when we got back. So got a whole bunch in there. I'm looking for a white one. Yeah, that would be cool. What else did? Oh, we got the Daisy's rice fish, or not Daisy's. Oh yeah. We got rice fish. What rice fish? The Medaka. The Medaka rice fish.
They're like white with a red fin.
Okay, pretty blue.
Or
yeah.
So, oh my gosh, it's all.
I can't believe I forgot about those.
Candy. I got a candy deed. I was going to be sneaky about it, but it's like all sticky. So now you guys get to see me struggle with this lifesaver. But yeah, that's going to be really fun because I want to eventually get those going year round in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
He just put them in one big box. So James has got 10 and I've got 10, I think.
Yeah. I've got them all together. Because by the time you're ready for them, they may have popped out some babies.
Oh, awesome. Well, eggs.
Oh, yeah. But those eggs shall turn into babies, hopefully. But Grumpy Mike, thank you for the $3 super sticker with the fist bump. I appreciate that very much, Mike. Thank you again.
Grumpy Mike is awesome. Today on Instagram, he posted replica rings of the Royals and the Chiefs.
Ooh, very cool.
And I have both of those. So I like him. He's awesome. They're the only replicas I have is Kansas City stuff.
Somebody was asking me about green shrimp. Dragon Lair was asking about getting. I didn't see the green shrimp Dragon Lair. I looked. I saw the blues and I saw the mixed tank, but I didn't see his greens. But it was also kind of chaos between the three of us running LRB around everywhere. Haley was there also. It was just kind of madness at LRB's house, and we were kind of in a rush, but trying to not be in a rush because there's so much to see there. But we're kind of like, let Sean go and look in videotapes and stuff, and then I stole LRB, and I'm like, I want some of these and some of these, and then Sean or LRB went back to the other room, and it was kind of chaos. I didn't see them though, and I felt weird because at one point I was alone for like 20 minutes in LRB's fish rooms. Then finally I'm like, wait, I need to go find somebody. This just feels kind of weird being alone in his house without supervision, if you will. But Sean had stolen him away for an interview, I believe. So look for that on PeckTech's channel.
That was one of the funny things. Sean PeckTech is like super nice.
Yeah.
And I said, so what is like one thing that makes you mad? And he says, what drives him crazy is when his wife or daughter interrupt his videos where they just talk real loud while he's trying to make them. And I didn't know he was interviewing LRB. I thought they were just chatting. So I start talking about LRB's greenhouse. I felt so bad I just ran away.
I was trying to be very quiet. I'm like, Ed, he's filming. And Ed's like, I knew he didn't hear what I said. And he just keeps talking. I'm like, Ed, he's recording. He's like, oh. It was funny, though. It was funny. It happens. It is what it is. But yeah, it was a blast. And then we kind of had to take off from there. Y'all probably didn't get back till, what, 11, 12 o'clock?
I think I walked into the house about at 12:30.
See, I got lucky this time. Normally, I drive down to Ed. Depending upon where we're going, I'll drive to Ed's a lot of the time, and then we'll head out from there. So I have an hour and a half drive back after we get to Ed's house. I was the first stop on the way back, so I got dropped off before Sean and Ed were done. So I got the early part of the trip. Kaylor's Aquatics, Bob, how's it going? I haven't seen you lately. I mean, I've seen you around, but I haven't actually seen you in person lately. I appreciate the dollar super pooper chat, my friend. Hopefully we can get together sometime soon. It's been a while. Miss you, buddy.
You know, yeah, we got to go do something.
We need to.
I didn't tell you this. James and I were planning on going to Lexington next weekend, right? Mm-hmm. That's not this weekend. It's next weekend. Correct.
No, that is the 10th. Yeah. So not the next 2 days weekend, the weekend after.
I can't go.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My brother is coming into town to visit. And Sunday or Saturday is the one day of the week that my sister is free all day long. So we're going to do family stuff all day long Saturday. And I'll break for your video show, but I'm sorry. We'll do Lexington next time they do something. I promise.
Absolutely. It'll be fun. We'll get there sooner or later. We can't hit them all as much as we try. Zane, yes, it's about time for you to get these darn zebra plecos out of my tank. I'm sick of having to feed them. I think you owe me $300 in food, so I'll just not. No, just no. Yeah, the weather's finally getting safer. I did ship out, so I finally got my shipping stuff, and I shipped out some fish to Amy, Sand Creek Aquatics too. So those are supposed to arrive tomorrow. So that'll be another good test shipment. It's been weird. The test shipments that I've done, they've like I shipped some fish to Zen a while back from Tennessee to Texas, and it got there and right at 24 hours, which is really, really unusual. Normally it takes longer than that. So that didn't really qualify as a good test shipment because the stuff didn't take the standard shipping time. It was kind of like, oh, it's here already. Let's see. See what else I missed here. I'm catching everything that's highlighted, but I'm trying to catch some non-highlighted stuff as well. Go ahead.
Bob asked, what's going on in Lexington? They're having a fish swap. And that was one that I think in our last stream I mentioned that we should see if you want to go. And
yeah, because that was just a day trip.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it in the live stream, and I guess I never actually talked to you about it. Sorry, Bob. My mind's been just going everywhere.
Yeah, because you even talked to, I think Sean and I about it in the truck that Bob might be able to go.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Bob to come too.
We're not going to ask him, but we're going to hope that he comes.
Yeah, we're just going to show up and say, what the heck, Bob? Didn't you know?
Tim Carter, welcome to Team Snowball. I appreciate you becoming a member. Party time. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the team. You do, of course, have the awesome member emojis that you could use in the chat and on comments if you choose to leave comments. And when you get a chance, check out the behind-the-scenes stuff. I think it's been about a week since I posted anything for the members only, but I've got a bunch coming up, and we're almost to that segment where we're going to talk about the mayhem that's going on around here. But there are going to be a lot of changes around the fish rooms. So I hope you enjoyed the stuff that we've got posted and the stuff to come. And again, thank you very much. And welcome to the team.
That's awesome.
Scroll
you know what? I saw Guppy Guru left a little donation, or I shouldn't say little, a donation or a super chat. That's what it is. And I wanted to tell you, when he did that, I just remembered I got your t-shirt this weekend. And I don't think I ever took it out of the truck. James gave it to me in the truck, and I think it's still right in the back seat.
Yeah, so in your back seat is hopefully the counterweight for my gimbal, as well as that little side knob for the zoom. I looked at my gimbal and I'm like, I'm missing pieces. And I knew that the counterweight had fallen off back there, but by the time we got here, I didn't want to hold y'all up looking with a flashlight. I was like, I'll see him in the next couple weeks. And I found my spare counterweight cleaning my car out. So all good there. But at some point when we get together, I need to dig through your back floorboard.
You know, Fantastic Freaks donated $2. And he wishes that Omaha would have some more fish swaps and conventions.
Absolutely.
I would, you know what? If you know of any conventions in Omaha or Council Bluffs, or maybe even Lincoln, Nebraska, let me know and I'll come up there and see you, because I've been wanting to see my family anyway. But it was funny. Before the show started, I said, hi, freaks. And I thought, oh, gosh, that didn't sound too good. I might be calling everybody a freak. I meant that to just the fantastic one.
Thank you, Fantastic Freaks. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're fortunate that we've got. We usually do what within 6 or 7 hours we'll make a trip. Generally speaking, for a lot of these things, it's like I think it's like 6 hours to go to Indy. So we don't really have a lot of stuff. We don't really have much of anything that happens immediately where we're at. We just don't care to hop in the car together and drive 6 hours to go find something awesome to do with some other fish nerds. But it would be nice if we had more stuff that was like right here, and hopefully we can get some stuff going springtime once it warms up, and hopefully the health situation has settled down. That would be nice. But thank you again, Fantastic Freaks. Bob, I will send you a text message and we'll see if we can't get that figured out. Thank you very much, Bob. That would be awesome to hang out with you and go do the fish swap thing.
And then you'll get to meet John too. That's pretty cool. Well, I'll give you like $25 or something, and you can pick me up with some guppies if you see some.
There we go. I get called fish freak sometimes. Could be worse. Yeah, very true.
I'm not called freak anything.
No, everybody loves Ed's beard. Poor Sean.
Yeah.
So that was one of the great things. I've gotten used to being with Ed. Anytime I hear a beard compliment when I'm in public with Ed, I disregard it because I know it's for Ed. So Sean was there with us. I think we were in line at the barbecue place. Or no, it was
no, that was there
first.
too. It was Sonic.
Sonic, yeah. So it was drive through. The
kids.
girl's like, "I love your beard," and Sean's like, "Oh, thank you." And she's like, "No, his beard." And I was just chuckling because I've done that before. I'm like, "Thanks." And she's like, "No, not you, the red beard." I'm like, "Oh, I feel dumb."
Yeah, unfortunately, it's all like little girls. It's like girls that could be my daughter if I had a daughter. So, but hey, a compliment's a compliment. I'll take it.
It is, but it's always funny. So yeah, that was the second time. Was at the barbecue place. The girl was like, "I love your beard," and Sean and I just kind of looked at each other and chuckled. And he said, "You were right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm telling you, everywhere we go, it's always the red beard." So it's just fun stuff like that that makes the trip a blast. And there's so much little behind the scenes, just little moments like that all add up that make it a wonderful time. Oh, it jumped on me here. The chat did, and make sure I did not miss anything. Zen Ginger is back now. Mandy Boyd, hello. And they think you're like a new age or punk Santa, says Bob. Kaylor's Aquatics. Yep, that's exactly it. I told Ed, I said, I'm going to dye mine red and see what happens. But I'm actually going to bleach it first and then dye it red so it sticks out better than the blue that I did for a Big Fish deal. You couldn't even tell I dyed my beard blue. So I have got a lot going on. I will say this. I had a storage building delivered today. If you've never had a storage building delivered, pre-built, and delivered on a trailer, it is an interesting thing to watch. So they come in, and I took a picture because the trailer that they have, of course, has hydraulics in it. So the trailer is sitting like this, and the storage shed's on it. And I'll probably make some sort of goofy thumbnail, but he's got like they bring it out, and they've got this forklift on the back of their truck, and they literally drive the back end of the forklift straight off, and then lower themselves by the fork. I won't go through the whole thing, but it's a really interesting process. They bring wheels to put it on it and all that stuff to roll it where they need to get it. But that is going to help me get back on track with the fish rooms and videos. Yeah, Fish Shack, says Bob Kaylor. I thought about it. The problem is it's not insulated or wired or plumbed, but I could do insulated and wired. But it's mostly going to be for storage. So right now I have almost 20 empty tanks that are just stacked around the fish rooms / living room. I'm literally just tripping over tanks and fish equipment everywhere at this point. So I need to get that stuff temporarily out of the way because I'm going to be taking a page out of Lucas's book and building. I feel like his house reminds me of like a fish library, if you will, the way he's got like the aisles of fish tanks set up. So I'm redoing everything because when this first went nuts, a year ago, I didn't plan to have this many tanks. So it's just kind of been a build as you go thing. Sorry, Mr. Fisher says, I shaved my beard. Look at my picture. Oh, wow. You look different, Brad. It's good to see you.
Different.
It looks a lot different. Everybody does without the beard. So that's definitely going to help because I'm quite literally tripping over fish tanks at this point. I have a couple of areas because I've got like nooks and crannies. So even like you could see these tanks are run out this way, and then I've got tanks next to them. So I've got places where I have fish tanks, empty tank stack from the big Petco sale thing. And I have to move the tanks to get to my actual tanks with fish in them to feed and do maintenance and stuff, and then move the tanks back. So it's been hard to try and film anything with all that kind of in the way. But I'm going to get that stuff moved out, and then I'm building out what would be the living room, and we're kind of moving the living room into another room that's currently the secondary fish room. but I can plan it all this time. And that's the big part. Is it's been a year of stacking in tanks on top of tanks, anywhere I could fit them, and not necessarily having the pre-planning to optimize the space. And now I can optimize it. So that's going to be very nice. I've already started moving fish from the second fish room into the living room, the fish gallery to be. And that's been fun. That's been interesting. But it's gonna be awesome. And of course, we just celebrated a year. The end of September was 1 year of the Fish Room Fever channel. So thank you all very, very much for everything. When I started, I didn't expect to be at a year with 1,700 subscribers and almost 50 members. And I didn't expect membership at all. That would never even cross my mind. And just all you cool people to hang out with me every week, and the super chats and the members and the lurkers and the listeners. Of course, the moderator team. You all do far more than I can even thank you enough for doing. So thank you very much. But a huge thank you to everybody. It's been a heck of a year, and this next year is going to be even awesomer. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming. So
look at me.
Look at you.
If I had a black beard and a cigar, I would look like I had Groucho glasses on with the fake nose.
You do. Oh,
Chance for a lightsaber, and I throw her too. Can't believe that.
That's great. Oh, that's great. So I missed a couple things. Let me grab these. Then I saw a question. It wasn't highlighted, but I did see it. I think it was from Ivan, and we'll get to that question. Let's see. Tom Patterson says, now that you guys are in CCAC, you can do the breeders and the
Babbitt and Hep. Is it called HEPA?
Bap and Hap. We can Bap and Hap. Sounds like a fun dance. When you come up for swaps. Awesome. Very, very cool. Ed, a.k.a. Steampunk Santa. I love it. Zen Ginger says, Fisher Fever and Ed, are y'all super stoked that Ben Ochart is moving to your neck of the woods? I think he's moving out towards Nashville, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
We'll have to make him a part of the mafia.
Ben, will you be our friend? I know he doesn't listen to this, but if somebody that knows said, Ben, we want you to be our friend. Yeah, invite him to the Tennessee Fish Mafia.
For sure.
But yes, very, very happy as in Ginger. I think that's awesome. Here it is. Ivan Sherino says, hi, I hope you guys can help me. I have a 30-gallon tank running with a 406 fluval canister. I have 3, I'm guessing crayfish, and one of them have babies now. There are like 60 to 70, and I don't know if it's going. Let me see if there's more of that question somewhere. Don't know if it's going. Don't know if the fluval canister is going, or was there more on that? And thank you for the congratulations on 1 year. Because Beth and others, I appreciate that. Color Guppies, thank you. Mismatched Socks, thank you as well. So I don't see a second half to that question. So let me try and. Okay, hope you guys can help me. 30-gallon tank running with 406 fluval canister. I have 3 crayfish, and one of them have babies now. They're like 60 to 70, and I don't know if it is going. The only thing I can assume from that is that you don't know if the canister is going. Maybe. If you want to clarify, by all means, I'll keep an eye out for that. Ivan. That way I'm not explaining something that you're not asking. But if that's what you're asking, I'd be happy to problem solve with you, troubleshoot here.
Does anybody know what Ben Ochart's channel name is? Because I think that's what John Cox is wondering.
Is it not Ben Ochart?
It might just be. I know he's like a big cichlid guy. Likes to travel around.
You see,
Bob says he's one of his fans, so maybe we could get Bob to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you don't know if it's enough filtration. So those are really, and don't take this offensively when I say this, but those guys are nasty. From the crayfish I've had, those things are good at stinking up water. Fluval 406. I haven't run a fluval canister in so long. Let me look at the GPH on that, or the liters per hour, either one of them. Just so I don't tell you wrong, because I mean, generally canister, you're like, oh yeah, that's plenty. See, 406 canister. I mean, I would think that would be enough. Keep in mind, you're probably going to want to clean it more often than we generally clean canister. Most people generally clean canister filters. Let's see, his flow rate is 1,450 liters per hour, or about 385 gallons. So yeah, I mean that's more than 10 times turnover per hour on that. I don't see why you wouldn't be fine. Now, somebody that's got a lot more experience, like maybe Susan for SLC, or even Bob Keller's Aquatics, that's had more experience with crayfish. I've got very minimal crayfish experience.
I was afraid to catch them in the stream when I was a kid because I didn't want to get pinched.
Oh, I love it. I found out it's actually a little stream that's right next to our property here. So I've gone out there with a little net and take the kids out and catch them and stuff.
Yeah, I never fish with them either.
But I would think that you should be fine. I would think. Yeah, I mean, it was a 30-gallon, right? Let me double check that. Yeah, 30-gallon tank. Yeah, so you're running more than 10 times turnover. We'll just say 10 times turnover with losing some of the optimization of it. You know, as it clogs, it gets less efficient. I would think you'd be fine. Just make sure it doesn't get clogged up, or if you start to notice any smells at all, I'd make sure to clean your filter out really well.
Fantastic Freaks. I know that the Tri-Cities, I think that's what they call it up in Iowa, has a couple of good fish shows every year. Just trying to figure out. But that's on the opposite side of the state from him. And Katie said that Ochar is planning on going to nano and planted tanks when he moves here. So that's really cool. I didn't even know that he had a live stream. I watch his videos after they're made. I just didn't realize he had a live stream. That's pretty neat.
I've caught a couple of them. I never seem to be able to catch them when they're on, but I've caught a few. It's always a good time. I enjoy it. But yeah, I think that'll be cool. I'm going to do a couple of nano planted things. So I've got like the tank that we got from the big fish deal, some smaller, under 10-gallon, not really box store dimension tanks. So I think I'm just going to go through, rescape all of those, and just stick a bed in each one of them. I've tried doing other things with them, but I think I'm just going to do a nice scape in all of them and stick a bed in each one of them and call it done on those. But yeah, I think.
How do your beds do with shrimp?
With like brine shrimp?
No, with just like normal, any type of shrimp for cleaner crew.
Oh, having shrimp in the tank. The few times I've tried it, the bettas were fairly aggressive towards them. I've had one or two that didn't really care about the shrimp being in there, but the bettas tend to be so just mean that they'll just kind of wander around and they'll find stuff to pick on. So even if they don't eat them, they'll still like, why are you moving? I'm going to bite you. But I have found the rare one that didn't do that. I mean, it's a personality thing. Can you do it? I'm sure that people are doing it. Do I just outright recommend it for somebody that, especially if you're wanting to breed the shrimp? I would say no. Now, if you've got a whole bunch of like generic shrimp, like you like to have just miscellaneous shrimp everywhere, I would say go for it. Why not? Because you've got them in other tanks. So I don't mind losing some of those, but I'm not going to put a betta in with my, my Black Rose Neos or my Orange Sunkiss that I got from Priscilla Swiss Aquatics, or my LRB Blue Dream 18s. I'm not going to put a betta in with any of those. Priscilla MK, who's been hanging out and lurking. Speaking of Swiss Aquatics and Priscilla, thank you for the $5 super chat. It said, for Ed's Beard Dye Fun, #Big Red.
And that pays for about a third of the year right there, because I use one container for almost 8 months.
Oh wow. Dude, that's awesome. I don't think I could get by with that, especially since I'm letting the sides grow in. I don't think I could get by with one container for 8 months.
I use a toothbrush and it looks so gross. It looks like I've stabbed people with it. It looks like I've been in a prison fight, but I used the wrong end of the toothbrush to fight with.
And Bob, I will try and remind you about those 2.5 gallon tanks. I just broke down one, but if I've got 3 of them, I could do something neat on. So I'm keeping one metal rack that's going to have like the small skate bedded tanks, and I would probably do like an LRB style, no oxygen or anything, just some plants and maybe some shrimp in those little 2.5 gallons. That's what I had in the one that I just broke down. But I'd finally bred out enough of them. I moved them into a 10 gallon in the living room just a little while ago. Let's see.
That's awesome.
This back and forth talking to Ivan. And I appreciate you all. One of the things I love about this is that, you know, even if we don't get to which we try and get to everybody's questions, or maybe we don't know the answer for sure, you know, the awesome community we have here. Like we've got John Cox, who's been talking back and forth with Ivan about his setup and all that stuff. So thank you, John, very much for that. I do see that, and I do appreciate it. Let's see. Ivan was saying, thank you very much. I cleaned every 2 months. Now I will do it every 20 days. Thanks. Absolutely. I think you should be fine. Like somebody can mention that may be a bit overflow or, you know, too much flow, but I think they'll be okay. As long as you're not like blasting the bottom of the tank, you know, with that, which I don't imagine that you rigged it to where that output is blasting the bottom of the tank. You should be good with that. And doing that extra cleaning of the canister is definitely going to help keep the water from getting too yucky. So it should be good. Susan is back. Scroll down through here. 70, where was it? 75 watching, 53 likes. Oh, really? 75. Yeah, 78 watching and 55 likes. Woohoo! Thank you all. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. I hope you're having a great night tonight. Ever since we swapped over to this splitting the 2 hours, an hour here and an hour at yours, it has amazed me how fast the time goes. We actually only have 10 minutes left till we go over to the Chattanooga Ed's channel for the Nocturnal Feeding Show, where we're going to be doing some guppy education. Ed has found some awesome guppy stuff to talk about. He's found an awesome site. So we're going to learn about guppies, and I'm going to enjoy it because I have a hard time figuring out exactly what a guppy is sometimes. Is this a snake skin, or is this a cobra, or, you know, what's this tail? But before I get any further, where was it? There it is. Rico Stan. Congrats on the first year. Looking forward to the next with the $20 super chat. I can't thank you enough for that. Not even, I mean, just, that's awesome. Thank you. I always throws me off, and I appreciate it. I'm going to blush a little bit. So thank you, Rico Stan. And again, you're a member as well. Thank you for that. And just thank you for being here. I love everybody being here and hanging out. So it makes my day getting to hang out with you all. So thank you. Sarah Lynn Snow says, hey, y'all, finally got the money needed to fully set up a permanent 150 gallon outdoor stock tank pond for my goldfish fish room fever.
Nice.
Yes. Congrats. Very, very cool.
Super.
And I'm glad you finally got it, Sarah Lynn Snow. Glad to hear it. I'm sure they will enjoy it. Amy, Sand Creek Aquatics, 2 fish room fever. I got my baby plecos today. They were great. Awesome. I'm glad to hear everything was alive and well. I stuck an extra one in there. So you ended up with one more, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if nothing else, once it grows out a little more and you can decide whether you want all standard colored or if you want that albino in there. And pet stores always love bristlenose, especially because they don't seem to have a lot in your area. So if you end up with one more than you want in there, you can always take it and trade it in at the pet store. But I'm glad they arrived. Okie dokie. I do have... I don't even know if I want to talk about selling fish because it's such an undertaking. I haven't started yet, and I appreciate Zen. She's kind of helped to poke and push me like, hey, I thought you were going to do this today. But like the other day, I ended up having to clear out about a 20 by 15 section of overgrown kudzu and other crap on the back of the property. So that took most of the day. And then I didn't want to get in tanks having all the, I guess, saps and stuff out all the plants. But I need to get pictures. That's what I need to do. I need to con Ed to come up here and take some really fancy pictures for me so that I can get these fish listed. Because I'm moving guppies around and I'm finding tons of guppies I didn't realize I had. Not in the sense of different types, but in the sense of, you know, I've got a lot of my 10 gallons are turned on end. And so I'll pull out the massive wad of guppy grass. And I'm like, oh, there's another 30 guppies in this thing that I didn't ever see, you know? So definitely
for sure. That'd be fun.
That. And I'm glad to know that the test shipments are going well.
What we could do is we could buy a chip, you know, like a $10 chip. I could put it in my camera, shoot everything you want, and you could keep the chip and use it all day long, or, you know, for whatever.
There we go. I appreciate that. Hey, Crystal's Pets and Plants, how are you? Good to see you. I appreciate you swinging by. Amy Sacred Aquatics 2 says, I saw that Fisher Fever. They are so happy. No, we don't have too much to choose from here. Yeah, I noticed when we came down to see that it was fairly limited. So, hey, who knows? If you decide that you don't want all of them and they get a little bit bigger, you can always take one in, or start your own little breeding colony and start trading them into the pet store and helping to pay for the hobby. I think that's one of the things that gets people kind of hooked on it, I think, is they have fish, they make babies, and you're like, oh, I need another tank. And it's so fun, you know, having things breed in your home and watching the babies grow and all that stuff. Let's see, where was it? John Cox says, I want to use bristlenose to keep summer tubs cleaner. How do you see something like this working? I think that the amount of poop you're going to get from the plecos is going to offset any cleaning that they do. At least mine are really lazy. I've yet to find any bristlenose that really, excluding diatom algae, unless it's diatom algae that you want them to clean, they really have never done much for me in terms of cleaning anything. But if you got that brown film, that diatom algae, they do really like that. Other than that, mine just are too lazy to bother cleaning up anything. They pretty much just poop a lot.
Yeah, I mean, in green water, fish love it.
So. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could definitely do it. You know, bristlenose in tubs, I think, is awesome. I think it'd be great for them to breed out in, but I wouldn't expect them to do too much work for you. Susan for SLC said snails work good in the pond. Yes, absolutely. You could try the bristlenose, see if they do a better job for you. Maybe I just got some lazy ones, but I've not had luck with them. Sorry, I saw LO46s down there. Let's see. Mr. Fish, sir, back and forth. Now, let me make sure I'm not losing my mind. I thought 46s were zebras, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, LO46 is a zebra pleco. Yeah, we've got a couple zebra pleco keepers around here. It was, I think, Leah Jet said, anyone here have LO46? I've had mine 2 years, and it rolled on me. And no breeding yet. So I have heard of that happen before. It can be tricky. I've not had any breeding yet, and I've got some to ship out to. I'm going to take these off for, I think, the remainder of this, just because they keep trying to fall off, and they're making my nose itch, and I don't want to sneeze at you all. So I've not had any breeding, but most of mine are not mature. Even with, like, say, my snowball plecos, I just, for the first time after, I think, 8 months, finally saw a male pin a female in the cave the other day. Now, that she didn't lay any eggs, which is kind of typical for them the first go round, not necessarily being successful. But just give it time. Some things that you can do is make sure you've got good warm water. I think 86 for breeding is about optimum, 86 degrees Fahrenheit for water temperature. Lots of oxygenation. They like high oxygen content warm water, which is, most of us know, the warmer the water, the less oxygen it holds. So getting a couple extra air stones in there for additional oxygenation may help. And then fast-moving water across the front of the caves, from everybody I've read, tends to be helpful, because they like to make their caves to where The entrance is here, and the water's fast moving across the front of it. So I actually built my plumbing and scaped my cave mansion specifically so the water would jet across the front of there, and there'd be almost like a current or rapids across the front of it. And they seem to really like it.
That's cool.
So I would
guess
try.
Lurkers can't just sneak around and look in.
Right? Yeah.
No peeping times because they try to look and it fly away.
Another thing would be if you're in the tank a lot, and I don't know whether you are or not, but if you're in the tank a lot, if you're moving things around, if you're a fiddler, like I'm a tinkerer by nature. So patience is one of those things that's kind of set it and forget it. And this was something that Dean told me from Dean's fish room with the snowballs. When I asked him, I was like, what's the best piece of advice? He said, don't mess with anything. He said, put it in there. Well, it could take well over 2 years. Don't mess with stuff. Every time you change around how the caves are or move things or do other things, pretty much just restart your timer. So not that you are doing that, but if you are constantly trying to, maybe if I do this, this will help, or that'll help, kind of look at the best practices or the best tips on how you think it will get them to breed, get it set that way, and then no touchy. That would be my advice. Again, from somebody who's not had them breed yet, but has bred several other types of plecos and done a lot of research on the LO46s and watched pretty much everybody else's YouTube video that has one about breeding LO46s or zebras, plus reading a lot of other forum content and articles and all that good stuff. Amy Synchro Aquatics 2 says, how can I get rid of brown algae? Those bristlenose plecos that I sent you will help with that. Now, bear in mind, they're still little, but they will definitely help with that brown algae.
Did you also tell her other things to feed them? Like beans?
You can feed beans. If you're wanting them to... So I would see if they go after your brown algae, your diatom algae. Of course, you could drop wafer in there or two. I would just do one at most. Which them being still small and you having the other fish, they're probably going to scavenge a lot anyways. But I would kind of give them a chance to gorge on that algae first before I started feeding green beans, especially with only having 4 small ones. You're probably only going to want to drop a couple of green beans in there. So it's not really worth opening the can unless you're going to be eating green beans that night. Whereas here, I could open 3 cans of green beans and they could all get fed to plecos. Zen Ginger said, I would love to be a zebra pleco keeper, James. Absolutely. I would love for you to. I'm not looking forward to breaking down the caves and catching them out, but I will be glad to get those shipped to you. Not that I haven't, enjoyed them, so to speak, even though I don't really get to see them because they're always hiding, but I will be glad for you to have them so I don't have the worry of taking care of them anymore. Let's see. I have the fever. Just got my third 55 last week. Awesome. Congratulations. Need a cabinet for it before then. May go to the cement block and wood setup like Corey showed a while back. Yeah, so that is fun too. I like to build 2x4 stands for just about everything, especially if you're trying to get it into a particular space and you have an idea of how you want it to be. Building wooden things, if you're handy with a saw and a drill, can definitely help. But if not, there's nothing wrong with going and purchasing like the metal racks like Ed has, and a lot of people use those. Are awesome as well. Or there's lots of different ways that you could rack them. Congratulations on getting another 55. That is awesome. Yeah, like Sandy said, she's one of our zebra keepers. We've got a couple other people that always comment on the zebra pleco videos. She says it takes 2 to 3 years of age for the LO46 to maybe start to breed. Yes, that is exactly it. So again, I would look around some more, but the big things I've found that seem to help with triggering the breeding, of course, male and female, definitely, but getting that water high flow across the front, even maybe more than you might think. But they come from the Rio Xingu, which is really fast moving water. and it's not got like a bunch of vegetation and stuff. It's more like rock and some sand, but it's really fast moving water, really warm, really high oxygen content. So like a low flow planted tank is not necessarily their ideal. It's not a reproduction of their natural environment, which is generally what I try for if it's something that's typically harder to breed or less bred like the zebra plecos are. Okay, so we've got -1 minute. We have gone over our time into Ed's time. Ed's going to text me and go, it's my time to go. I'm going to grab this last question here real quick from Mr. Fisher. Says, I have 2 plant spies for my bristlenose and use both plus dung and sand between one spike and a sponge filter fish room fever. That got all discombobulated. Oh, 2 plant spikes for my bristlenose. And he uses both plus digging in the sand between one of, yes. So I love the plant spikes for the bristlenose and for most plecos. And then they will do, like you mentioned, with the sponge filters. I've seen them kind of get underneath the sponges if they're small enough, or kind of dig a little spot in between the sponge and the wall, or the sponge and a rock. So yeah, it's interesting watching the bristlenose and what they'll do. Hey, Kenny E, how are you? I appreciate you being here. So real quick, let me say a huge thank you to everybody. And then we're going to run over to Ed's channel and give everybody a chance to grab a drink on the way over there. Why isn't this refreshing? Come on, come on. I want to say my thank yous. Wake up. Wake up. There we go. All right. So we do have our new member, Tim Carter. Again, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the team and welcome to the Fish Room Fever family. I appreciate it and I hope you enjoy. Got some fun behind the scenes stuff for you to check out. Now let's get these super chatters thanked real quick while this is loading. Thank you to the moderator team. You all are awesome. I appreciate everything you do. You make life so much easier on us as we go through the stream, with throwing up the links and everything and helping people, directing people, giving guidance. So thank you very much for everything you do. The lurkers, the listeners, the participators, all of you all, I appreciate you being here. Tampa Tom, you're probably catching the replay. I know you were here earlier, but I know a lot of times you'll say hi and then you'll catch the replay at work. CJ Black, I know you catch the replays as well. So thank you very, very much. Get these super chats loaded up here. I missed one from Guppy Guru somewhere. How did I do?
That was when I was talking about how he gave me the shirt.
Oh, see, I heard you talk about the shirt, but I didn't even see it.
I think
Maybe I still had the glasses on.
I think it was
I see it here now. It popped up. Grumpy Mike's Fish, Pet Exotics / multiple aquariums. Let me do this right. Grumpy Mike's Fish with $1 super pooper chat. Pet Exotics with $2 super chat. Chad Krotz with the $5 super chat. Gina French throwing down the $10 super sticker. Mike with the Fish Tank Barn pooping on the stream as well with $1. Grumpy Mike's Fish again with $3 super sticker. Pet Exotics, or no, excuse me, Kaler's Aquatics pooping on the stream with the $1 super sticker. There's Guppy Guru. Sorry, Peter. I'm sorry I missed that. And I've been enjoying the heck out of the shirt. I'm not wearing it today because I need to wash it because I've been wearing it so much. This $2 super chat says, much love. Sorry, haven't been on here much. I'm sorry I missed your super chat. So all is even. Candy, good night from Lurkerville, she said on there. I saw the corner of my eye. Thank you for being here, Candy. I appreciate it. Fantastic Freaks, $2 super chat. Priscilla MK with the $5 beard dye fund. Rico Stan with that $20 super chat and the congrats on the 1 year. And Grumpy Mike's Fish with that $2 thumbs up. I'm sorry I missed that, my friend. I appreciate that. I think I've got 2 more up here. 2 more up here. I appreciate you all. Yep, that was a double. So thank you all for being here. We're going to go over to the Nocturnal Feeding Show on the Chattanooga Ed channel because this awesome guy over here, he needs some more watch time, and he's got an awesome topic planned out. We're going to go learn about different types of guppies. So, Ed, have you figured out your slogan yet?
No. Tune in 5 minutes to my show. That seemed like a good ending for me.
There we go. Well, y'all know what I'm going to say. Appreciate y'all. I love you. Until next time, keep your fish healthy. Keep yourselves healthy. Catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care, everybody.